But I can just imagine Trump sitting around with his cabinet, all his 13 or 14 billionaires in his cabinet, saying, next Tuesday I'm going to announce tariffs, and that's going to crash the stock market. So what you need to do right now is get out of the stock market and buy short positions, buy puts, and bet that the market's going to go down, and you will make a friggin' fortune. And then when the market was at its bottom at around 36,000, the Dow, I can imagine Trump sitting around going, over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to loosen up these tariffs and we're going to go back to something closer to normal. So buy now, buy low. Buy low, sell high. It's how you make money in the stock market. Buy low right now. And there's no doubt in my mind that certainly the Trump family has been doing this. Scott Bessent and friends were meeting with the Chinese in Switzerland over the weekend, and they worked out a deal where I'm not sure you can call this a deal. It's the beginning of something where our tariffs on Chinese goods coming into the United States are at 30%, which is still huge. I mean, keep in mind, the Smoot-Hawley tariffs in 1930 that exacerbated and prolonged the Great Depression, the Republican Great Depression, those Smoot-Hawley tariffs were around, as I recall, 34, 35%. They were in the 30s. And so now we've got this 30% tariff on Chinese goods, and China has a 10% tariff on U.S. goods. Again, this is stuff that should be being done by Congress. Nobody is going to build a factory based on a 145% tariff that Trump pulled out of his backside one day because he was pissed off. Nobody's going to build a factory based on a 30% tariff that came about as a result of an executive order. And by the way, these tariffs that Trump is claiming the power to impose, according to the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, only Congress has the right to establish what are called imposts, which was the word for tariffs back in 1787. Only Congress. Now, we did pass a law back in the either in the 40s or the 70s, I forget which, in the last century, which said that the president could impose tariffs during time of emergency, during time of economic emergency. But we are not in an emergency. The pandemic is over. People are back to work. The stock market was doing great. Joe Biden handed over the best economy in the last 50 years to Donald Trump. Unemployment was low. Unemployment was at 1960s levels. Inflation was down to 2.5%. I mean, this 2.6%. This is where Fed chairs have would have died for that over the last 50, 60, 70 years. I mean, everything was going really, really well when Donald Trump became president, and then he screwed it all up. So how's this going to work out? Well, we'll see. I'm skeptical that there's going to be a happy ending to this. And as you know, those of you who are longtime listeners of this program, I am a fan of tariffs. I have been arguing for 30 years. I mean, I've been writing about this for 30 years. That we need to use strategic, targeted, congressionally mandated tariffs to protect our domestic industries. And we need to do it based not on countries like Trump is doing, and not by executive order like Trump is doing, but we need to have Congress do it based on products. There are some products that we just don't want to manufacture here in the United States. There's no upside to it. So why tariff them? It doesn't make any sense. On the other hand, there are products that we really should be manufacturing here. We should be manufacturing our chips here. We should be manufacturing our strategic chemicals here. The stuff the precursors to pharmaceuticals. We should be manufacturing our pharmaceuticals here. In reality, about 80% of our pharmaceuticals, the precursor chemicals are made in China. They ship them to India. In India, they turn them into drugs, and they ship them to us. Or they ship them to, Europe, where they get packaged by the European drug companies, and then they get shipped to us. So, let's keep an eye on this and see how it shakes out. The Wall Street is, happy. Well, I wouldn't say happy. They're relieved And the Dow is almost back to where it was when Trump took office. We'll see. But, you know, and in my opinion, this is probably the biggest pump and dump scheme that we've ever seen. I mean, you know, I can just imagine, and again, this is my imagination. I don't have the evidence, and I don't think anybody does, and this is part of the problem. There needs to be an investigation by the Department of Justice, but there's no way that Kash Patel or Pam Bondi are going to have the FBI look into this. But I can just imagine Trump sitting around with his cabinet, his 13 or 14 billionaires in his cabinet, saying, you know, next Tuesday I'm going to announce tariffs, and that's going to crash the stock market. So what you need to do right now is get out of the stock market and buy short positions, buy puts, and, you know, bet that the market's going to go down, and you will make a friggin' fortune. And then when the market was at its bottom at around 36,000, the Dow, I can imagine Trump sitting around going, you know, over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to loosen up these tariffs and we're going to go back to something closer to normal. So buy now, buy low. You know, buy low, sell high. It's how you make money in the stock market. Buy low right now. And there's no doubt in my mind that certainly the Trump family has been doing this. Although, again, I don't have the evidence to present to you, but you know, these guys are grifters, and this is exactly what you would expect a grifter to do.